Hey, what's going on? It's another episode of Instructor Mike. I hope you had a good day. Let's go on ahead and turn our attention to a few situations, some recent, some not so recent. Let's go on ahead and dive into it. First up, we're going to talk about the Metro DC lieutenant who was sentenced to 36 months for shooting his trainee in Metro Washington, D.C. Then we're going to talk about Blendon Township Police shooting up Takia Young. My thoughts on that given situation. Then we're going to talk about how the 5 former Memphis police officers were federally indicted by the United States Attorney in Tennessee for the beating death of Tyree Nichols. Go on ahead, hit that like, comment, subscribe button, all that great stuff. Don't go anywhere here on Instructor Mike.
What's going on, you? This is Instructor Mike. You can follow me on Facebook at Mike Brown or Instructor Mike. Follow me on.
It could be you as a citizen, and you walked up and you see somebody. It look heavy? I don't know. Special, that must be. But it's good to know that this can handle the high pressure rounds of the flooding.
Make eye contact with me. He's still trying to get it open a couple of times.
So tail.
All right, let's go on ahead and go right into it. By the way, the use of these videos is in accordance with fair use under Title 17, United States Code, Section 107, copyright law for fair use regarding criticism, teaching, all that great stuff. Don't forget to hit that like, comment, subscribe button, all that great stuff. My inbox is steadily getting flooded with requests to talk about what's going on. So, just for can y'all hear me pretty good? Got a new mic, right? I can't do the soundboard today. I got to get that worked up, but we're trying. What's going on? Just want to say hey to some members. Calvin Carbine, thank you very much. What's going on? Much love to you. The Virginia Bushcrafter, what's going on? What's going on? Hey, you said where's the headset? No, I don't have a headset. I had to. How's the mic sounding? Is the mic sounding pretty good? Is the mic sounding pretty good? I hear me very well. Is the mic sounding pretty good? Test. Got it. Yeah, we're gonna go on ahead and talk about it. Hey, Tequila, what's going on? 19 blessings. 1. T. Thomas, what's going on? Do me a favor. Go on ahead and share this. Hit that like button. That sends the message to the algorithm that this conversation is work. The sound is awesome. Well, what's going on? All right. I guess the sound is pretty good. This is a very good mic, but not under great circumstances. So we're going to go on ahead and dive in to this given situation. Of course, I am going to check the likes and all that stuff. Okay. Just to make sure. All right. We got 125 people in here, but only 26 likes. Could you all do me a favor and get the likes up? Please get the likes up, please. What's going on, K-Bud? What's going on, TT? What's going on? Alex, Quintarius, what's going on? Lady Woo Woo, what's going on? All right, let's go ahead and dive into it. Not going to send you for a long thing. Yes, please, just hit that like button. It just sends the algorithm out there that this conversation is worth having, and we do need to have that conversation. We absolutely do need to have that conversation. Your name is just Goody Google. What? Kingdom Within. What's going on? Appreciate you guys. All right, let's go on ahead and dive in. So yes, my inbox, both TikTok, Instagram. Oh, it was so flooded about this story in Washington, D.C. It was flooded about this story in Washington, D.C. because, of course, you all know I am a firearms trainer. That's just one thing, but I also train in other disciplines as well, primarily in firearms. And this is a sad situation out of DC. I do remember when it happened, and of course, it surfaced back up now because the former Washington, D.C. police lieutenant, who was already retired at the time that he was conducting this training, he was already retired at the time he conducted this training. He's now being sentenced to 36 months in the shooting death of a police trainee. We're going to go on ahead and watch. Yeah, I can tell you how that happened. Let's go on ahead and watch it. And then we will go on ahead and comment about the story in terms of what happened. And don't be afraid to hit that like button. Here we go.
All units convert to Anacostia. All units convert to Anacostia. Officer down, officer down.
Police say the training session was held in a lower level room at the Anacostia Library on Good Hope Road Southeast. Its purpose was to teach a group of DC library police officers how to use an extendable police baton. Sources familiar with the investigation tell News 4 that when the trainer, described by officials as a retired MPD lieutenant, drew a pistol to illustrate how quickly it could be done, he fired one shot, striking an officer in the chest. She was unconscious and not breathing when emergency responders arrived around 3:30 p.m. D.C. Police Chief Robert Conte spoke at the scene. He was asked why the training included real bullets known as live ammunition.
Not certain why. I don't have answers as to why the live firearm was in an Aspeton training. I don't have those answers for you right now.
D.C. Advisory Neighborhood Commissioner Barbara Clark was on the scene shortly after the shooting.
Because children are the ones that you really worry about, because they come to the library in the summertime. It's cool. They got the computers and they got programs.
All patrons were safely evacuated from the library in the moments after the shooting. In Southeast, Jackie Benson, News 4.
This is definitely a sad situation indeed. I can tell you, as a baton trainer, I currently did it as a police officer. As a baton trainer, there really is absolutely no reason to have a live firearm in that type of class. We have fake firearms or dummy firearms like what you see here. And the DC police trainer had those firearms. In fact, it was stated that he had a replica firearm like this and pulled that firearm out towards the person who was shot, playing around with her. Now, I'm not going to really say anything bad about that in certain cases, because I do know that in training circles, depending upon the context of whatever was going on at that time, there could have been granted, of course, we do have the basic firearm safety rules. Assume every firearm is loaded, point that firearm in a safe direction, keep your finger off the trigger, know your target and what lies beyond it, things of that nature. But this is a replica firearm. Though we may treat it as though it's loaded, if context called for that, in that given circumstance, I can see. But the problem is a real live firearm. A real live firearm. I'll get to some of your comments, okay? A real live firearm has absolutely no place in baton training. Yes, QB17, I agree. When I was trained in baton, we were asked to leave our firearms in the car. Absolutely. I remember going through ASP, okay, that stands for Armament Systems and Procedures. We went through that baton training. None of us had our firearms in the area when we were being certified as instructors. In fact, going to the ILETA conference, International Law Enforcement Educators and Trainers Association, we don't have live firearms in training like that. And even if we were to bring real firearms into training, everyone is pat down so that we make sure there's no live ammunition. Because I'll tell you, my firearms handling confidence course, that's not a baton training class where we don't have contact with people by touching them. We will have real firearms in there, but none of them will be live and loaded because of the context of the training. It's a firearms handling course. Like Lady Woo Woo said, no place, especially in a library. Isaiah Johnson says, our guns had to be in lock boxes upstairs in the training room. This is definitely something that needs to be discussed. Now, let me read some of your other comments. Here we go. If it is the case that, well, let's back up for a minute. He was sentenced to 36 months. He was charged with multiple counts of second-degree murder, but he pled to involuntary manslaughter. And he was sentenced to the minimum of 36 months. When he was sentenced, matter of fact, let's watch that, and then we'll talk about that, because there's another video that does follow this one, and then we'll discuss that. And I want to hear your thoughts about that, because some people are not in agreement with it. I'll share my thoughts on it. Here we go.
Off the top of 5, the retired D.C. police lieutenant who was working as an instructor when he shot and killed a special police officer at the Anacostia neighborhood library was just sentenced.
It was an emotional day today. A judge handing that sentence down just a few minutes ago. Stephanie Ramirez joins us live with those details. Steph, what are you finding out?
Guys, palpable is the word I would use to describe the emotion, the angst, the frustration that you felt inside the courtroom and still after. This is a cousin who's speaking behind us, and we did quickly chat, listen to the cousin who was upset, saying that he felt if this was the judge's daughter, that the judge would have decided differently. Guys, we're talking about at least 11 impact statements read in court today for 25-year-old Special Police Officer Marisa Mannion, who was shot and killed last year. The grandmother of the victim told the suspect that you murdered her and the death penalty is too good for you. Another person, actually the cousin behind me here, spoke, saying that he forgives the victim, but also told the victim that he destroyed the family, taking away the heartbeat, the pulse of this family here. First on Fox 5, we also spoke with another family member. This is the brother of the victim, Radcliffe Mannion, who had the sister's son, his nephew, in his arms as he addressed both the judge and the suspect in this case. Here's what he told us earlier.
The plea deal should have never been on the table. We know who did it. As a trainer, as an officer, he had no reason to do it, and it is no justification.
Jesse Porter is the retired D.C. police lieutenant who was working as an instructor the day the fatal shooting happened. Court documents described the baton training coming to an end at the Anacostia neighborhood library when the group had gathered for a class picture. Porter allegedly joking with the victim, who had said that she wasn't ready for the photo, wanting to take off her face mask. Now, those same court documents also say that earlier that day, witnesses saw Porter pull out an orange training gun, simulating that he was shooting the victim. With those around laughing, Porter apparently claimed that he thought he pulled that same fake training gun when the fatal shot was fired the second time around. Now, the plea deal, that documents say that Porter's 33 years as a law enforcement officer, including his time at a police academy, that his actions were at least a gross deviation from proper safety protocols, and that he knowingly created an extreme risk of death. Porter was originally indicted on 3 counts of second-degree murder while armed, among other charges, guys. But we know that that was pled down to involuntary manslaughter. We're told that the prosecution is was asking for 7 years, which was believed to be the max behind bars according to the plea deal. But the attorney for the suspects here had asked for 3. The judge granting that today. We are turning around, just paying attention to what's going on behind us. It's a very emotionally charged environment here as the family leaves court. Of course, we're going to be providing more updates, but guys, any questions I can answer for you right now?
Yeah, it's still a lot going on in front of that courthouse. Talk to me about the length of this sentence again, Steph. Why the leniency here? Did you get any explanation?
Sure. So again, the prosecution was asking for over 80 months, which goes to 7 years behind bars. What we're told is supposed to be the most according to the plea deal. They got 3. That's what the suspect's attorney was asking for, and the judge granted that, saying in part that yes, they were looking at making an example because a lot of rules were violated here, including the cardinal rule mentioned before in court documents, which is to treat every firearm as if it's armed. But he also looked at his age and also his history, that he did not have a criminal history during all of the work that he's done in law enforcement. Guys, we have the attorney here, so I'm going to toss it back to you, and we'll get you more in the 6 o'clock show.
All right, Steph, thank you so much. Great reporting.
So what are your thoughts on this? What are your thoughts on this? Now, I understand the situation in its entirety. I definitely understand the spirit and the mood of the family who lost their life. This should have never happened. This should have never happened. Imagine deciding to become a police officer or a special police officer. Well, first of all, the job of law enforcement is already a job that, let's talk facts, as a Black person getting into law enforcement, you're going to deal with double marginality. You're going to deal with one side believing that you're joining the side of the oppressor. You're going to, come and police all the Black folks and things like that. Like, it's so much. Yes, I went there. It's so much that comes with deciding to be a police officer than to be a special police officer. Just the word police has a bad taste in people's mouth. And then to look at this given situation where you have a police trainer of 33 years. 33 years. Do me a favor. Let's get the likes up, please. Please, let's get the likes up. 33 years. 33 years. 33. And a percentage of that time as a police trainer with no accidents or incidents of record, to then, now as a retiree, still conduct training for just this one time. This one time, you do something that costs someone their life. Now, I know there are people in these comments who they've been in my classes before, and they may ask certain questions like, Mike, why are you a hole? Mike, why are you strict? Why do you demand discipline? Why are you methodical? And I believe I told people, like I'll tell you all this, you only have one time. You really only have one time to mess up. And with that one time you mess up, that could be it. That could be someone's life. It could be your life. It could be your career. That's all the time it takes. Now, in terms of the sentence he received, I'm reading the comments. There are some of you that are saying the sentence is not fair. He should have gotten the same sentence as a civilian who lost or who did the same thing. If you think that's the case, type number 1 in the comments. If you think that he should have gotten the same sentence as a citizen? Type a number 1 in the comments. What do you think? I see some people's comments that say no. I see some ones. I see it. Say it should be more severe. Not going to happen. Let me tell you why it's not going to happen. Is the family going to get paid? Of course they're going to get paid. Oh my God. That was gross negligence. Gross negligence. This was a baton class. Nowhere in that room should there have been a live firearm. Why? Because you're having full contact with people where it's easy for them to flip in the heat of conducting those movements and accidentally, negligently, intentionally use a firearm. You just never know. You just never know. Civil liability? Oh, yes. Under the doctrine of respondeat superior, let the master answer for the actions of a subordinate. Yes. He should know better. Yes. But there are these things called aggravation, mitigation, right? Aggravation, the things that could aggravate and heighten sentencing. And then there's mitigation, right? The things that work in favor of the defendant. So this was a plea deal. This wasn't taken to trial. This was a plea deal. I'll plead guilty if you take off second-degree murder. Which, if you don't know what second-degree murder is, this is murder that is committed, meeting the statutory requirements for first-degree murder, but that there's a special circumstance, the excited nature of a given situation that meets the requirements of first, but has special circumstances that brings it down to first. Did the district attorney in Washington, D.C., did they feel they could meet their burden of proof? Typically, when there's a taking of a plea deal in those circumstances, they may not feel that they could get a jury to unanimously convict this, by all accounts, highly decorated police lieutenant who spent years, 33 to be exact, amassing relationships with people, training other officers, correcting other officers. But not for this situation, he would have had a stellar career. And by all accounts, still had a stellar career. Now, does that discount the life of the person who lost their life? This police trainee? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But just because a person lost their life, does that heighten the aggravating circumstances in this given situation that this was not done with intention? This wasn't done with intent. And then you hear them try to dig up the training things that took place. Well, he took out a toy firearm and pointed it at her. We don't know the context. Please go look through my videos on YouTube. You're going to see me pointing some fake firearms at people all the time within the context of training. And given that that's the case, is 3 years, 36 months an appropriate sentence? Yes. Thoughts and prayers to the young lady who lost her life. This should not have happened. And I will believe that they will get financial justice from the District of Columbia. But in terms of the sentence that he received, there's no aggravation to warrant him getting the maximum. And here's what some people don't understand. Let's just say the judge did sentence him to the maximum that the prosecution was requesting. How long do you think, or not even how long, do you think it would withstand appeal? Do you think it would withstand appeal? Do you think the appellate court in that area, of course, because the DC is the federal circuit, would it have gone to the appellate district in that area? Do you think it would withstand appeal? Though while a person did lose their life, it wasn't done or proven to have been done with intent. But this was a plea. This is not a trial. This is a plea bargain. In exchange for this, we give you this. Well, we want 7 years. The judge brings it down to 3. There's no mitigating, there's no aggravation to show that it warrants the maximum under the law. I'm going to read some of your comments and then we're going to move on. Again, thoughts and prayers. This should have never happened. Never. Now, there are times where I will carry a live firearm in a classroom if it's a concealed carry class. If I'm demonstrating something, I make sure I check, double check. Mag out, round out. Mag in, round in. Now, those of y'all who live in Chicago, you know why I got a live firearm on me. You already know. But I have 2. And see, that's the thing, too. There are too many operating training replicas that operate just like the real thing to have a live firearm on your side. But I do, and I saw, and I felt that he was remorseful. Yes, Lady Woo Woo, I am in Chicago. But I do see that he did feel remorse for when he did it. This is a tragic situation that should have never happened. But just because it's a tragic situation doesn't mean he automatically gets life in prison under the circumstances. There is a thing called the totality of the circumstances. Oh, civil lawsuit. Yes, there's no defending that whatsoever. None. Jacob, what's going on? None whatsoever. And so, my charge to you instructors is this, and to you students. If you see a live firearm in class, please feel free. Thank you very much, Ken, for joining the channel. Thank you very much for joining the channel. If you see a live firearm in the classroom, everyone is a safety officer. Safety is key. If you see a live firearm in the classroom, you are not wrong in inquiring. You are not wrong in inquiring. Is there a reason why live firearms is or are in the classroom? And that instructor should have no problem whatsoever. No problem whatsoever discussing the reasons why. Because there may be some reasons why. See, you get some people, and I'm going to tell you this. You get some people who have never gone to training classes beyond the basics. And so you don't understand the context wherein live firearms in a training class with responsible people who have shown themselves to be disciplined and act in a safe manner can control themselves. They can control themselves. And they do what they're asked to do. Why? Because it's easy to spot the odd man or odd woman, odd student out. So once you get more training, you'll understand the context of certain classes and having live firearms in the classroom. But this was not that class. This was a baton training class. This was a baton training class. This was not that class. This was not that class. So thoughts and prayers to the young lady who signed up for service with the special police at the library in Washington, D.C. And I'll even send some thoughts and prayers to the instructor too, because I know he has to feel so bad. He has to feel so bad. Oh my God. If you've never been a trainer, you just don't understand the type of liability that is on these shoulders. And I will tell you that I am a freaking control freak when it comes down to my doggone classes. Control of myself, control of my doggone students. There have been some times where I have sat there and kicked students out of class because they lack freaking spirit and doggone discipline. Because they did not follow my orders, not suggestions, doggone orders. If I tell you to do something, I expect you to most rickety tick, do exactly what I tell you to do. I'm not telling you to do anything I wouldn't doggone do myself. And if you got a freaking problem with it, you got to find that door real quick. When I tell people to do things on the range, you have to do what I tell you to do. It's not a freaking suggestion. And I command it. Why? Because the liability is on me. You only got one time to mess up. If I do a demonstration with a real firearm, here's the procedure that I do. I cannot show you because YouTube will not allow me to show you. But I'll take that firearm out, mag out, round out. Mag out, round out. Check it twice. And then I'll turn it over. Mag out, round out. And once they visually verify, I'm going to the next student. Mag out, round out. Everybody will see. Not only did I check it, 2 other students checked it. Mag out, round out. And then I checked it again. I checked it again. And that's my procedure if I'm going to introduce a real firearm into the equation, because some things have to be demonstrated with a real firearm. Real instructors who are trained very well understand this, but that does not mean that real instructors are without mishaps. I'm just saying some of you students just do not understand why I am an asshole the way that I am. I don't mind being called out of my name. I don't mind. And I'm going to go there. And we're going to have that kind. Oh, my Lord. Look, 98% of my classes go out without a problem. 2% of them, I end up having problems. Of the people that I end up having problems with, are you ready for it? Type it in the comments. Type it in the comments. Male or female? Which side do you think I have problems out of the most? Type it in the doggone comments. Type it in the doggone comments. Which side do you think I have problems with? Type it in the comments. Come on, I'm waiting for some. Oh, there it is. Let's go. No, there it is. Come on, John. Females. Alonzo said females. Anthony said females. Yes. And I'm saying this, I'm saying it out of love. Now, Jacob said male and old male vets. Oh, I don't disagree. they can be some problems too, especially the know-it-alls. You can't tell them nothing. But in my classes, and ladies, I love you, but respectfully, let me turn on my little quasi-therapist, behavioral analyst, instructor hat for that side. If there are some daddy issues there, I didn't cause it. But I can't teach you how to survive until you learn how to follow doggone directions. I'm just saying. Look, I'm just saying. I am just saying. And it needs to, come on. Whatever your issues are outside, you got to leave them outside. Inside the classroom, you got to do what I ask you to do. I have no intentions on having any problems, but I definitely anticipate them. I definitely anticipate them, right? Ladies. And it's not just the ladies, it's the guys too. But I'm going to say this because this was a male instructor, female student, and it was alleged that she just wasn't getting it right throughout the class. For whatever reason, she wasn't getting it right. We're not blaming her. I'm just talking about the facts or the statements that were presented in that manner, and I'm relating that to my experience. Look, yes, I agree. He should have double-checked. Yes, I agree. I totally agree, Angela. No disagreement there. No disagreement there. But everybody has to take this safety thing serious. Everybody. And you got to understand this too, because some of you all that go to training classes, you only go to classes just to head bop. Yeah, yeah, okay, yeah, I understand. Yeah, okay, yeah, I get it. You're right. Oh, yeah, okay. You're not paying attention to nothing. You are not asking any questions. You're not paying attention to nothing. Safety is everyone's responsibility. It's the instructors too, but it's also yours, because what's the one common denominator that we all have, if that's the right word? We're all humans. We're all humans. We're all humans. So if you see something, say something. Say something. Say something. You said, when I took a CCW class, they made sure all the ammo was locked up. Yes. Trucker's wife, thank you for that. You said women are bullheaded and don't like instructions. I don't want to generalize it, but I get the context. Men can be the same way too. Just like, let's be fair, women get tagged as being heavily emotional. Men terminate the life contracts of more people under some of the most emotional stuff. Does that make sense? Let me sidebar it for a minute. Take an opportunity. If you want more training like this, please join the channel. Please join the channel. I have member-only information that I put out just for the members. More things that go beyond the basics. Take a moment. Join the channel if you like. Take a moment. Join the channel if you like. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe. Comment. I appreciate all of you. Bob the Gamer, what's going on? Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much. Elliot, thank you very much. Yes, Nick, safety first. Yes, safety first. Sally said, thank you, Keita. I appreciate that. Sally said, I think my family would agree that I'm stubborn, but I'm not stupid. If my instructor told me something, I'd do it. Trucker's wife even said, yes, great content on the sub side, especially if you're a member. I appreciate that, Trucker's wife. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. And again, shouts out to Practical Ken for becoming a member. Let's go on ahead and dive into it. We're going to dive into another situation that occurred in Blendon Township. Blendon Township. How many of you all heard of the situation where a woman was shot by police who was alleged to have tried to run the police officer over? You said you really enjoyed the video about walking away? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. You said, I don't know why folks go to places to learn but don't want to be told anything. Yeah. Goody Goo Goo, what's up? You joined? I appreciate that. You said back in 2018. Goody Goo Goo, did you just join? Did you just join? I think you did. If you did, I did not shout you out. Yeah, you must have just joined. You must have just joined. I appreciate that. Let me catch it, because YouTube didn't catch it. Yeah, I see you joined. Thank you for that. Welcome. Appreciate that. Yes. Simply Stancil Brown, you said, I'm just discovering you. Thank you for all you do. Oh, you got a gift from Ken. The membership was gifted. Okay. Thank you, Ken. Thank you, Ken, for that. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. That's outstanding. All right, let's go ahead and dive into it. Go ahead and dive into it. We're going to talk about this right now. Oh, not happy about this one. Not happy about this one. Let's go.
Hey, out of the car. 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 They said you stole stuff. Do not leave. Get out of the car.
Now let's stop right here. Let us stop right here. What is the problem with this? Thank you, Ken. I appreciate that, Practical Ken. What is the problem with this right here? Sound off in the comments. What do you think the problem is with this right here? So let's talk about it. Takia Young was alleged to have taken some items out of the store without paying, having passed the last point of sale. Yes, Millicent. Yes. I can't wait till my soundboard gets fixed. I want to yes, his placement. Repeat after me. Write it in the comments. Your authority is not stronger than a car. Your authority is not stronger than a car. Your authority is not stronger than a car. I do not understand why there are, it's not every police officer, but I just do not understand why there are police officers who really believe that their gun is stronger than a car, that their authority is stronger than a car. I just do not understand. Why would you knowingly place yourself in front of the weapon? Lady Woo Woo, thank you for joining the channel. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Here we go. Why are you placing yourself in the dangerous propensities of this car, of this dog, of this? Law enforcement is an honorable profession, but not everybody who gets hired has. You get what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm saying? Not everybody who is hired is the brightest of the bunch. And you can find, I don't care what race, what gender, you can find some special folks behind the badge. I had some that I used to supervise. I had some that I used to train. Come on. Come on now. Let's continue. Here we go.
Then get out. No, then get out.
Get out of the car.
Get out of the car.
Attend to 29, 3705 Managua, 3705.
What's that?
Female solution.
I hope YouTube don't strike it, because they stopped it right at the right time. YouTube, don't do that to me now. Don't do that to me now. Yes, I'm gonna read your comments. By the way, super chats does help me see your comments even better. Just want to say, right, or joining the membership, right? Here we go. Goody goo goo. Let's go. Shouts out to Eddie Murphy. Looked at my wife and she said goody goo goo. God dog it, that's a love. I love it. Here we go. I don't even like walking in front of a friend's car. I walk behind because you never know what could go wrong, and he's doing it with someone he doesn't even know. Right? Now, you said she has nothing to do with the shoplifting. What? No, actually she does, because she's the one who alleged, right? She's the one who alleged that, you know, or she was the one who was alleged to have stolen the stuff. Sorry about that. Practical Ken says, everyone, if interested, make sure to click and allow yourself to receive gifts such as memberships. So if you click the like, I guess that's how that works, right? If they like it, then they get memberships and they get gifted memberships. Hey, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Here we go. Thank you, Practical Ken. Always a supporter of this channel. Shouts out to you. Here we go. I'm going to drop the link if you all want to come up and discuss some things. Here we go. Some of you all asked some questions. Miss Campbell, you asked a wonderful question. You said, do you think the officer being in front of the car is escalating the situation, like making her scared? That could definitely be, because she did ask a question, are you going to shoot me? See, you never know what a person is dealing with. Thank you so much, Profoundly Fresh. Thank you so much for your super chat. Thank you for always instructing and teaching. Thank you, Profoundly Fresh. Ace Wall Spencer, what's going on? Is this live right now? I thought I was late for parenting class. We're going to have that parenting class. By the way, I do have a parenting class. And speaking of parenting, that's what I was going to talk about. You never know what a person is dealing with. You just never know. You never know if they are looking, and I'm not saying Takia was, but you just never know if a person is dealing with something where they feel that their only way out is suicide by cop. You never know that. And so it is incumbent upon officers to take that into consideration, even if they're responding to the smallest of calls. Even if they're responding to the smallest of calls, that they take that into consideration, that it is possible that this person could be dealing with some things. Now, I know there are some who are going to say, well, that's why compliance is key. It's better. It's always better if you comply. And you hear this all the time. You hear this all the time. But sometimes people don't take into consideration this. Those who understand behavior address it. Those who don't understand behavior suppress it. I'll say it again. Those who understand behavior address it. Those who don't understand behavior address it. I know it's been a minute since I did this, but I feel it is appropriate to do this. How many of you all know about Maslow's hierarchy of needs? We're going to talk about it because I know there could be some police officers who could be watching right now. There may be some people who could be seeing this. Let's go on ahead and talk about it. And that's what I'm going to teach you about is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. We're going to learn about that. I feel it's extremely important to talk about that because you need to understand where compliance lives. You need to understand where compliance lives. Let's go on ahead and talk about this. So this is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Go on ahead and blow it up a little bit. Screen's all the way down there. Okay. Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Let's pump it up. There you go. Bang. Started right there. Okay. So here we go. With Maslow's hierarchy of needs is a psychological theory coined by Abraham Maslow that talks about how we get to positively self-actualize, the needs that all humans need to be able to self-actualize. You got 5. I'm going to answer that question too, Goody Goo Goo. You got 5 levels, right? You got physiological needs. I'm about to say security or something else, right? You got physiological needs. You got safety needs. You got love and belonging. You got esteem. And then you got self-actualization, right? So here with physiological needs, you got breathing, food, water, sleep, homeostasis, which means regulating the self, right? The body's ability to regulate itself, your ability to regulate yourself, skills, right? Here we go. Then you've got excretion. If these needs are not met, it's hard to go to the top. Then you got safety needs, right? Safety needs, security of your body, security of employment, security of resources, security of morality, the family, security of your health, security of property. See, sometimes people want compliance. I'm going to tell you where compliance lives. Compliance lives all the way up here with morality, creativity, spontaneity, problem solving, lack of prejudice, acceptance of facts. Here you are expecting this person to accept the fact that they could have caused the introduction of the police into their life. Accept the fact that maybe they were speeding. Accept the fact that they were not wearing their seatbelt. Accept the fact that they committed a crime and submit themselves to the criminal justice system. You want them to do that. But that's all the way at the top. We got to deal with the security needs first. Both parties need to feel secure before anything else takes place. Compliance does not happen if you do not feel secure. Then let's go on top of that. Friendship, love and belonging, associations, activities, that's important. Esteem needs, that stuff is important too. Self-esteem, how you feel about yourself. Confidence, achievement, respect of others, respect by others, and then self-actualization. Problem solving. We both need to solve problems, but we're not going to be able to solve problems if the rest of these needs are met. So you can sit there and say, as a police officer, well, why do I need to care about that? Because they are not going to comply with you until they feel secure. And you could be the reason why they are not complying. This is why not everybody can be a hostage negotiator. This is why not everybody can be on SWAT. This is why not everybody can be a Navy SEAL. Not everybody can be the elite of the elite. Why? Yes, you may be a good person with this, but are you a good person with this? We need you for brute strength, but we need somebody for thought strength. And maybe, just maybe, you putting yourself in front of the car exacerbated or made worse in the situation. What made you think that your authority was stronger than a car? You put yourself in the dangerous propensities of this situation to give yourself a reason to shoot. This is what we call officer-induced jeopardy. You induced it. Well, maybe if she would have stopped. You don't plan for the good. You plan for when it goes bad. You plan for when it goes bad. You don't put yourself in front of the car thinking that she's going to comply. You don't even know the reason why she stole, if she actually stole. It could have been a misunderstanding. It could have been somebody who said that it looked like she was stealing, only for you to look at the receipt and find that she did, in fact, not only pass the last point of sale, but she actually paid for her items. But are you willing to take a life or have yours taken for theft? We look at the situation when we teach in police training about not Graham versus Connor, Tennessee versus Gardner. Tennessee versus Gardner. There's a difference between, even with your felonies, property crimes and crimes against persons. Theft is not a crime against person. It's a crime against property. It's against the business interest of the company, the interest of the community, and trying to keep prices low because they want to keep thefts from happening, because with more shrinkage and more loss, prices have to go up so that the companies can recuperate their losses. I totally understand that. But are you willing to lose your life to that end? Are you willing to take a life to that end? The answer has to be a resounding no. And so what, if anything, would make you want to put yourself in the dangerous propensities of this car that neither you nor your gun nor the authority is stronger than, even if you did press that trigger, which you did, and you took the life of this person? That car had to meet the wall to come to a complete stop. So not even your authority, not even the bullet was enough to stop this car. It took an object of equal or greater force to stop this car. Let's continue. Let's continue. Alec, if I had to choose P365 X XL. And I appreciate your comments. Thank you for that. Thank you. I am WW3. I'm doing good. Practical Kids said de-escalation training is extremely important. Matthew H said, I don't own a firearm. They scare the out of me. Still, I love your commitment to education. You're great at what you do. Intro into Maslow is congently applied. Bravo. I appreciate that. Now, Angela, you said that's the hidden agenda to, I respect your opinion. Thank you, Dr. 1776. Just joined how everyone is doing. I appreciate that. Everybody's doing good. Jacob said, poor tactics by the PO. It wasn't worth it. Officer-induced jeopardy, 100%. Shouts out to Jacob Knoll and Viper Defense. If you are in the area of Illinois, south of Springfield, check out Viper Defense. Jacob is an outstanding instructor who's been in the thick of it, served in the military, served in law enforcement, elite. I learned from him, and what a humble guy, too. See, I rock with instructors who are the best of them. Nothing against the instructors who are just starting out. There's a place for you, too. But then there are some instructors who are in it for the money and not in it for teaching people what they need to know. Come on now. Come on now. Come on. We got to do this the right way. We got to do this the right way. Go see my friend Jacob. Love you, brother. Had to shout you out. Show. Mark Quinn McDonald. Why you don't call me, man? I would say we gonna fight, but I don't feel like getting my ass whooped. I'm humble, right? What's up, man? Another outstanding instructor. You want to be taught combatives. Man, come on now. Come on now. Let's go. Let's talk about it. Here we go. Let's move on to the, please do. Thank you. Let's move on to the situation where, how many of y'all remember what happened with Trainee Nichols? Let's travel to Memphis, Tennessee, and let's talk about the 5 officers in Memphis, Tennessee. You all remember that situation. 5 officers in Memphis, Tennessee, all of them black. Trainee Nichols, black. You know they're facing charges in his death. That was at the state level with the Shelby County District Attorney. Well, they've been charged federally. They have been charged federally. Now, some of y'all are like, yeah, Mike, but they black, though. That's why they was able to charge him so fast. You're probably not wrong. You're probably not wrong. But what I'm saying is this. They should have thought about that. They should have thought about that. They should have thought about that. You know what I said about that situation? And you know what? I will tell you this. I don't feel bad for these officers, but then again, I do. I don't feel bad for these officers, but then again, I do. Why don't I feel bad for them? Because that looked like a vicious thug beating. That looked like a vicious thug beating. That looked like some thugs behind the badge. See, some of you all, love you, but some of you drape all police as being thugs. But when you got some thugs that actually were behind the badge, were you silent? Oh, I've lived in the city all my life except when I went to the military. What's up, Javar, to you? Thank you. And I've seen my share of beatings. Oh, I didn't get beat. You couldn't catch me. I was fast. You either had to know how to run or how to fight. My mama didn't teach me how to fight, and I wasn't keen for getting my ass whooped, so I had to run. Oh, but I've seen the beatings, and I've definitely seen them as an adult. Oh, that was some gang shit. That was nothing that we teach troops in the academy. That was nothing that we were taught in the academy. In fact, the academy training is just litigation mitigation. The academy training is just enough to get you and your life contract permanently terminated upon the face of this here earth. Y'all know I just wanted to say the K word, but I'm trying YouTube, right? Right, to get your life contract permanently terminated upon the face of this here earth. The earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of that deep. That's what the academy training is. That's what the academy training is. But that was some thug shit. That's what that was. And that's why I don't feel sad for them. They didn't care about Tyree when he was down on the ground. Fuck him. Let him rot. But let me tell you why I do feel sad for him. Let me tell you why I do feel sad for them. Where was their mentorship? Where was their mentorship? See, I'm going to tell you something. You said Tyree was a community thug. Okay, Chiefs, he might have been. He might have been. See, I don't know that. I don't know. But he didn't deserve what happened to him. He didn't deserve that. So let's get back to the 5 black officers. Because I got to speak to that. Don't forget to hit that like button, please. And don't forget, if you choose to join, graciously appreciate it. I've been fortunate enough, and I'm not the only one, but I'm going to share you my experience. I've been fortunate enough to work in departments where there's black officers solely, about 98, 9-ish%. You got a couple of whites and a couple of Hispanic officers. Definitely one crazy Puerto Rican. Love you, Corporal. I ain't going to say your name. Right. And then I've been fortunate enough to work in a department where there's more white officers and about maybe 40%, about 35, 40% blacks. Sorry to say on both sides. Excuse me. And I want to tell you there's a difference between white officers who come from the white community, even in Chicago, because I got friends and friendly associates and associates who are and were Chicago police officers. So I understand and have been in these cop communities where they live. And in our communities where we live, there's a huge difference, right? So when you got in Chicago, let's use Chicago for example. If you're from Chicago, type a number 1 in the comments. Sign off in the comments. Thank you very much for that, Alec, for the super chat. Keep up the amazing work. Such a big fan. Thank you very much for that, Alec. If you're from Chicago, sound off in the comments, because you're going to understand what I'm talking about. Here we go. What are the cop communities? You already know what the cop communities are. Typically, the cop communities are typically on the outskirts of the city. Probably some of the safest places to be, right? So when you got officers or candidates that come from or who come from those cop communities, they get academy training, they get on-the-job training, and then guess what else they get the benefit of? They get to go back to the communities they live in where there are current, former, retired cops who live in the community. They're in the bars. They're in the cop bars. Their kids go to the same school, right? Kids go to the same school, attend some of the same events. And so they're friends with each other, either associates with each other. So just imagine being immersed in a community that supports law enforcement, that supports family, And so not only are they getting the training on the job, but when they experience things on the job, yes, you have some who don't take it out. Well, strike that. You have some who do take it out on the people they police, but then you have others who don't. They have a safe place to download, a safe place to vent. Other officers who are on the job, were on the job, retired from the job, they have a community to get more continuous training and support. Where the fuck we going, Popeyes? Where we going, Popeyes? Where we going to, Josephine's? When you a black officer and you live in the black community where there's a disdain for law enforcement, but then you decide to become a police officer, and then you have to hide your profession from the people you knew prior to getting on the job. Some of your family members disown you, right? Then you got to change your uniform because you can't wear it home because you're worried about being Ariana Preston. You live in a high gang, high narcotic community. We going to the 50-yard line. Hey, I'm just saying. Where we going? Where are we going? So then we have no choice but to try to hang out in the cop communities where the only ticket that we have is the star. That's the only ticket that we have is the shield. That's the only ticket that we have is the badge. Because but not for that shield, star, or badge, you gotta know somebody to be invited in that inner sanctum or that inner circle. So where do black cops get the support from? And so that's why I want them to be punished, but I also feel for them too. Some years ago, understandably so, there was a cry for defunding the police and hatred towards the police. Now people can't stop asking for them. When are we going to sit down and have that honest conversation about police and community relations? Nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to admit certain things about either side. Nobody wants to talk about those things. What do the black, and it's not every black community in fairness. It's not every black community in fairness. But is it more than most? Is it more than most? And what is the black community doing to embrace the officers, especially the black? I'm not just indulge me for conversation. I'm not discounting any other officers, but you know what I'm saying, to embrace the black officers. Chiefs, yes. Somebody asked me, and I'm going to play this video once I say this last part. Somebody asked me when I get back into law enforcement. I was on TikTok. By the way, Instructor Mike on TikTok, Twitter, Instructor Mike 1. Somebody asked me when I get back into law enforcement, and I said I would. But I could only police in an area that values family. That's why Chiefs Forever's comment right here is so important. Family is so important. There is no way that the police should be stronger than the community and the families in the community. Police should support what the community is already doing. And if the community doesn't value family, it makes policing hard. Because if you don't value family, you're not going to take care of your block. You're not going to take care of your neighbor. You're not going to take care of the places that the family uses. You're not going to attend these events that these people put on and work so hard to try to foster a sense of community. I can't police in an area that doesn't value family. If you don't value family, I don't want to police you because you are not going to protect what you don't value. Jacob said it, and I'm going to read the rest of y'all's comments. The job is hard enough as it is. Without community support, it will suck the soul right out of you. Dragon Shy said, my brother quit the department due to the lack of this value. Yes, family matters. Alex said, absolutely. Everyone needs to come together as one. And here's this. People have the right not to like you. That doesn't mean we can't be unified under one common goal, and that is to stomp out crime by making family value even more. People love to talk about the youth who are out here acting up and forget the African proverb that the child not embraced by the village will burn it to feel its warmth. The community is burning by the children who don't feel the warmth of the community, and you want the police to lock them up. You want to get a concealed carry license to try to stomp them out. That's not going to stop anything. One by one, two by two, they still going to come until you get it through. We have to make family matter. And so I wonder, after these 5 are indicted and perhaps convicted, and maybe even given the needle, or life in federal prison without the possibility of parole, which is a possibility for civil rights violations under the color of law, does that solve the problem? If you don't value family, what are we doing? Goody Google said if the community takes care of itself, that makes it easier on the police and allows them to spend time on the real criminals and problems. Family matters, y'all. Family matters. It has to. It has to matter. It's got to matter. Javier. I call you Javier. Is it Javar? I called you Javier. It's Taco Tuesday, right? You said, but what about the community that wants the black officers around they grow up, yet the black officers can't take the badge and relate? Okay, so I'm going to tell you this, Javar. There are people who become police officers because they need that authority psychologically for themselves. There are people who become police officers because they need the power. They crave that power of wanting to belong. Remember, we just did Maslow. Come on. I'm going to take you back. Take you on back to church. Here we go. Right there. Come on now. There it is. There it is. Safety. Safety. Safety, safety, safety. 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 It's right there. Safety. Security of the body. That's a psychological need. So let me ask you this. People sometimes say that, well, you got some cops who became a cop because they were bullied. You're not wrong. That applies for some people. But what profession does it make sense to get into where you actually get to not only secure yourself, but others who can't protect themselves too? Police. That's one such profession. And especially if you're doing stuff on that stop that reminds the officer of the bully they once knew. Now it becomes personal. Now it becomes, here's my chance to right the wrong of the past. Come on now. And this is why when I talk about motorist compliance, sometimes you don't understand that your compliance is necessary to speak to the ego of that officer. You can't out ego an ego. You have to finesse it. Those who understand behavior address it. Those who don't understand behavior suppress it. If the cop is here, you can't match ego. You can't do it. It's a losing battle. So sometimes you got to stay here to bring that person down. Nick, I'll answer your question in a minute. To bring that person down. You got to be the change you want to see. So I get it. We talk about yet the black officers can't take the badge and relate. What are they relating to? If have you all even tried to talk to some of these officers and find out about their childhood? I guarantee you, if you find out about their childhood, you'll hear the reason why they took the job. You'll hear that reason. And then it'll make sense. Oh, you might not want to say it to them, but you'll say it in your mind. So you took this job because you needed it psychologically. Don't shame them or judge them because now you're on their radar. Those 5 officers who beat Tyree Nichols, do we know about their past history? Do we know? Do we know? I'm just saying. Rob said a law enforcement official should never work in the area they grew up in or live. It's dangerous on multiple levels. I get what you're saying, Rob, but just because you don't live in that area and you work in a different area doesn't mean you can't be triggered by people who are working in the area that you are in. And I know you know this. Trucker wife says broken homes is what the world created. Go to Google. Oh, sorry. That yawn means it's time for me to pop smoke, go to sleep. Getting close to that time. One kid is 11. He has been caught in stolen cars 13 times. And once he's caught twice in one day. If the parents would handle this kid, the police could do other things. Parents may not always have the skill to do that. I literally got into a discussion that almost became an argument, except I didn't let it go that way. I almost got into a discussion with somebody who wanted to debate me about parenting classes. Well, you can't teach another person how to parent. I'm not going to debate you. Clearly, that's your trauma speaking. It's all good. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? There is a need, excuse me, for more police training. Yes, John. Thank you for coming out to the class too. Thank you for coming out to the class. Appreciate that, John. Parenting is a skill set. Yes. I facilitate. I want to say teach. I facilitate a parenting class. Yes, I do. I would teach it on this channel, but I got a feeling some people not gonna want to. I don't want to be on here talking about that. I want to talk about guns. That's why the channel is called Instructor Mike. It's not called Guns Mike. But if I taught that parenting class in the members only stream, how many of you all would become a member of this channel? And then I could teach it on the members only stream. You don't have to have a Zoom link. You just have to turn on your notifications. And I could drop the link and we could come up and have those conversations. How many of you all would do that? You said you would, Trucker's wife? I would facilitate the parenting class. If you join the channel, I'll switch from Zoom and bring it right over to YouTube in the members only section. I promise I would. If you are on your laptop, I believe that's how you can join. Okay. And Javar, you're okay. We'll do that. Matter of fact, Practical Ken said, click the green icon on the top of the chat and accept gifts if you want to accept membership gifts. Practical Ken has been gifting memberships. And if you do this, I'm telling you, this is going to be a 14-week. That's not for, don't y'all laugh. That's not 14. This is for fucking 14. I'm serious. I'll bring it to YouTube. I will bring it to YouTube. Come on now. There are benefits to joining this channel. A lot of my instructional stuff, deeper than this, is going to be in the membership section. Come on, this channel it's about to be worth it, baby. It's about to be worth it. Hey, if you join, first class is tomorrow. First class is tomorrow, I promise. Tomorrow at 8. Because I was supposed to do it tonight. I forgot. Oh, I forgot. I might make the show on Tuesday and then do the parenting class on Wednesday. Now, KJ, you said patience is a virtue kept by those who have the clarity in the moment. KJ, can I offer you something? Patience is a skill set before it becomes a virtue. Because if you don't know who you're being patient towards, what you're being patient about, when to be patient, where patience should be applied, the reasons patience does apply, and how to apply patience. Oh, how? You can't apply patience if you don't have mastery of the subject matter where patience needs to be applied. I'm just saying. You said, is this for the parenting class only? No. There's a lot of stuff that I put in the membership section. I've got a firearms handling confidence course, the first one in the membership section. I got videos that I have not released on the public section of YouTube. It's in the membership. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And I get it. Some of y'all said you're definitely tempting me, but budget is tight at the moment. I get it. Dragon Shy, thank you for becoming a new member. I'm serious. Tomorrow at 8 o'clock, we're going live in the membership section. Thank you, Practical Ken. Tomorrow night, we are going live. And it's not just going to be about parent, but tomorrow is going to be about parenting. Yep. Tomorrow's going to be about and there are look, let me tell you, why am I suggesting that you take a parenting class? Here we go. Behind every angry adult is an unaddressed child. Come on now. Come on now. Behind every angry adult is an unaddressed child. And if you want to understand behavior, this parenting class is a 14-week parenting class. And please, like Trucker's wife said, make sure you hit the notification button. Make sure you turn on your notification buttons. 9 o'clock. Aren't you Eastern? Yes, it would be 9 o'clock Eastern Standard. Yes, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Yes. 8 o'clock Central Standard, Chicago time, whatever this is. 9 on the East. And then do the other math on the Pacific. Behind every angry adult is an unaddressed child. Those who understand behavior address it. Those who don't understand behavior suppress it. Goody Goo Goo. That's going to be a funny name forever. 6 on the West. Mallory Lewis, I love you as well. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right, y'all. I'm going to get out of here. Y'all seen about 5 yards. You already seen it. Sign off in the comments. This live will be put in, I'm going to take segments of it, stuff like that. You get it. But if you also go to the podcast on the mic with Mike, you'll hear this on the road. Like if you drive and you're on the road again, stuff like that. TNT said, have I ate? Yes, Truckers. I'm about to do that right now. Right now. Thank you, Dr. 1776. Ken, Practical Ken, you've been gifting a lot of memberships. I appreciate you. Shouts out to you. Thank you very much for that. Yes, the Maryland class was awesome. The Maryland class was awesome. It really, really was. It really, really was. If you are from the Detroit area, sound off in the comments. I got to show you one of the things that we're about to do. If you're from the Detroit area, give me a minute while I look up a couple of things. Yes. If you are from the Detroit area, sound off in the comments. I will be traveling. And I know you said Texas. I will be traveling for my, you ready for it? You ready for it? I will be traveling for my Death Not Today personal defense seminars. Death Not Today personal defense seminars. Yep. I will be traveling for that. I want to give you all a taste of what that looks like. The Death Not Today personal defense seminars. And the first stop, the Maryland class was awesome. The Maryland class was so awesome. It really, really was. Let me make sure. Now I can't even see the doggone. Hey, here we go. Got it. Yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome. No, not Detroit Urban Survival Training. You said, Mike, you look like you lost some pounds in your shoulders. Yes, I have been losing weight. Yes, I have. You said, I don't think it's enough training. No, it was great, but it's not enough training. Yes, I will be coming to Arizona. Yes. Yes, Mark Quinn. Yes, please tell me you coming, man. Please tell me you coming. Yeah, man. Tomorrow, 8 o'clock Central Standard Time, I will be going live in the members only section. Turn on, if you join, I don't know if Practical can get this some more memberships or not, but please consider it. If you join, make sure you turn on your notifications. Everybody who joined, make sure you turn on your notifications. I'll put out that community tab too. Yes. Yes. No. You said, but where are you out of? Chicago? Yes, I'm out of Chicago. Yes, I am in Chicago right now. Yes, I am out of Chicago. So this is what the personal defense seminars are going to look like. The first part of it. Okay. This is what it's going to look like. Yes, it will help you, Mark Quinn. Yes, it will. Here we go.
You got work because you do it. It gets better when you keep doing it. Okay? Yeah. Down, down, up, back. Down, down, up, back.
Yes, Mallory. Yes, I'm coming.
Everything. Okay? The way you do it, I'll get for my support. You need to see y'all. You need to Here we go. Go ahead, follow the instructor, Mike. All right. Here we go. So this is what I want you to do. You're going to insert it just like this. Okay. Then without looking, I'm automatically indexing the next mag. Okay. Then without looking, I'm already indexing the next mag. Without looking, already indexing the next mag. Next mag. Next mag. Make sure you feel the tip. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Good. There you go. Make sure you feel the tip. The bullet. Hold on. Hold on. Make sure your index finger is available. Make sure your finger is touching the trigger. Hold on. You could be outside.
All right, I ain't gonna ruin it. I ain't gonna ruin it because go on ahead and ruin it. Next thing you know, y'all see everything that we do up in there. But this is a part of what we're doing in the personal defense seminars. Okay. And the first, Mark Quinn said, how do I become a member? If you're watching on your computer, I know there's a button that says join. I think Practical Ken said something about to the I'm trying to find the comment now. Oh, what did Facebook do? Took it out of groups. Yeah, saw that. Okay, I would come to Madison, Wisconsin. Moxie, that's nothing. And thank you for gifting the memberships, Practical Ken. Thank you for that. Yeah, Profoundly Fresh got it too. Thank you for gifting the memberships. Thank you. You said my wife enjoyed that part. Did it with her eyes closed. Oh, hey, you said my wife enjoyed that part. Did it with her eyes closed. Okay, Dragon Chi. Okay. Hey, yep. And Practical Ken said, if you click on the green icon above the chat, allow gifts, then yes, you will get the gift member. Practical Ken, I appreciate you. Practical Ken, gifting these memberships. Hey, I hope you got Dragon Cheed. I'm glad that the firearms handling course was great so that your firearm was able to be handled. Of course. See what I did there? Yeah. All right, Mark Wayne, you got it. Y'all are something else. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to get out of here. You going to do it 1 sec? Okay. Thank you for the upload. Yes. Yeah. Oh, come on now. I got more videos. I got a few more. You see what I did there. Yeah. Takes it to a whole nother level. Oh, I got to get my soundboard. I got to get me a studio engineer in here now. Good night. Yes. Good night, El Rojo Jefe. Good night. You said, say what? Look, tomorrow night. 8 p.m., right? 8 p.m. We will be going live. Make sure all of you all who got gifted the membership, make sure you turn on your notifications, right? Make sure you turn on your notifications, okay? Please make sure, thank you, Damien. Make sure you turn on your notifications. We're going to have that parenting class tomorrow. We're going to have that tomorrow. And, right, I'm going to ask you all to send me your email address tomorrow so I can send you the workbook. Oh, that's right. There's a workbook that comes with this. So that way you could print it out and we could do the work together. I am committed to helping you see behavior better, manage it better, and be a better you. I'm committed to it. I'm committed to it. You said I'm confused because a hospital doesn't have a white background, but the code. What am I missing? And Moxie, yeah, I would come to Madison. Absolutely, I would. You said just confused because a hospital doesn't have a white background. Yes, I try all the time to be a better me. Thank you, TNT Network, YouTube. Thank you. Thank you for being that. All right, you all. This is Instructor Mike. You've been trained. I appreciate, hey, thank you, Practical Ken, for gifting all those memberships. Oh, that was absolutely awesome. That was absolutely awesome. Thank you very much. When I tell you the membership live streams are going to be lit, they're going to be awesome. They're going to be awesome. You said the video, oh, the video I loaded today. Yes, yes, yes. You said I'm just confused because the hospital doesn't have the white background, but the code. Okay, I got to look at that video again. I look at that video again. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Yes, very, very generous. All right, I appreciate you all. All right, let's go on ahead. You all have an outstanding night. I will see you all tomorrow night. Turn on your notifications, please. Okay, so that when the member live stream goes live, only the members will be able to see that I'm live. Okay, see you all in the chat. Okay, and we'll be doing we'll be doing that tomorrow. Okay, what's it, Lou? What's up? Shout out from Brooklyn, big bro. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much. You say you share a picture of it, please do. Please do. Please do. All right, you all. This is Instructor Mike. You've been trained. Stay safe. Catch you next time.
What's going on, you? This is Instructor Mike. You can follow me on Facebook at Mike Brown or Instructor Mike. Follow me on.
It could be you as a citizen, and you walked up and you see somebody. It look heavy? I don't know. Create special. That must be. But it's good to know that this can handle the high pressure rounds of the flooding.
Make eye contact with me. He's still trying to get it open a couple of times.
So chill.